agricultural waste into nutrient-rich compost. Here's a detailed guide on how to prepare vermin compost from manure. Select a suitable worm bin. Choose a container for the worms. You can use a plastic or wooden bin with a lid, or even a repurposed container like a large plastic tub. Ensure the bin has drainage holes at the bottom and a tight-fitting lid to keep pests out. Prepare the bedding. Worms need a comfortable environment to thrive. The bedding provides both a habitat and a food source for the worms. Common bedding materials include shredded newspaper, cardboard, leaves, straw, or peat moss. Moisten the bedding material to make it damp, but not soggy. Add manure. Manure is a great food source for worms. Cow, horse, or chicken manure works well. Layer the manure on top of the bedding, making sure it is moist, but not dripping wet. Introduce the worms. Once the bedding and manure are prepared, it's time to introduce the worms. Place them on top of the manure, and they will naturally burrow down into the bedding. The number of worms needed depends on the size of the bin and the amount of waste being composted. As a rough guideline, 1 pound of worms can process about 0.5 to 1 pound of waste per day. Maintain the worm bin. Regular maintenance is crucial for successful vermin composting. Here are some key steps. Keep the bedding moist but not waterlogged. Add water as needed to maintain the right moisture level. Feed the worms regularly. They can eat a variety of organic materials, including fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, tea bags, and eggshells. Avoid feeding them meat, dairy, or oily foods, as these can attract pests. Stir the bedding occasionally to aerate it, and distribute the worms and food scraps evenly. Harvest the compost when it's ready. The compost is ready when it is dark, crumbly, and has a pleasant earthy smell. To harvest, push the compost to one side of the bin and add fresh bedding and food to the empty side. The worms will migrate to the new food source, leaving the compost behind. Use the compost. Once the compost is ready, it can be used to enrich garden soil, potting mix, or as a top dressing for plants. The nutrients in the compost will help improve soil structure, retain moisture, and promote healthy plant growth. Overall, vermin composting is a simple and effective way to recycle organic waste and create nutrient-rich compost for your garden. With the right setup and maintenance, you can enjoy the benefits of vermin composting year-round.